this state once again in the United States Senate. Thank you, and thank you, the people of Maryland. I understand what an awesome responsibility it is, and I promise to honor your trust. I also want to thank my campaign team. I want to thank the Maryland Democratic Party. I want to thank the coordinated campaign, and I want to thank all the volunteers in this room and around the state who went door to door, who made phone calls, who sent text messages. This is your day, and we all thank you for what you did for our campaign, for the coordinated campaign, for all the campaigns around the state of Maryland. Thank you. I also want to thank my family. I want to thank my family for their enduring love, their support, and partnership. To my wife, Catherine, who is just up here with me, our children, Anna and Alex, who are here, and our son, Nick, who cannot join us, and AJ. Now, as we gather here, we don't know the results of the races in other parts of the country. But here are some things that we do know right now. I know that we're heading into 2023 with an all-star team for the state of Maryland. I know they haven't called it, but I'm confident that we're going to elect Brooke Learman as the next comptroller. I'm also confident that we're going to elect Anthony Brown as the next Attorney General of the state of Maryland. And I know we've already elected Aruna Miller as the next Lieutenant Governor of the state of Maryland. And by God, it only took them about 60 seconds after the polls closed, electing Wes Moore as the next governor of the state of Maryland. This is a historic day, Maryland. We are making history. That we know. Here's what else I know. I know that we're going to work together as Team Maryland to advance the priorities and interests of our fellow Marylanders. I know we're going to build a more inclusive economy with more shared prosperity for everybody in the state of Maryland and around the country. I know that we're going to advance social justice and racial equity together. I know that we're going to protect a woman's right to freedom and reproductive choice. I know we're going to tackle the climate crisis and keep our air and our water clean and protect the Chesapeake Bay. We're going to do that together. And we're going to strengthen public safety and enact more common sense gun laws in Maryland and push to do it around the country. And we've got to make sure that every child in our state, regardless of zip code, gets a quality education across the board. And we're going to keep and honor our promises to our veterans and to our seniors. And by God, we're going to preserve our democracy and the right to vote around the country. I said we don't know the outcome of the House and Senate races around the country yet, and we don't. But again, here's what I do know. I know that Democrats will keep fighting to move our country forward, and we will never allow the Trump Republicans and the big lie Republicans to drag our country backwards, will we? We will not. And I am joined in that fight at the federal level by my good friend, Ben Cardin. I want to thank him. I want to thank our terrific House delegation. You heard from our leader, Steny Hoyer, in the House, but also Representatives Mfume, who you heard from, Ruppersberger, Sarbanes, Raskin, and Trone, and as of tonight, Glenn Ivey. And I also want to thank Heather Mazier for running a hell of a race in the Maryland's 1st District. So here's what I also know. And tonight has proven it. You have proven it. that Maryland as a family will continue to lead the way for the United States of America. Because Maryland has always led the way. We are the state that gave the world Frederick Douglass, who told us that without struggle there is no progress. We are the state that gave the world the conductor of the Underground Railroad, Harriet Tubman. We are also the state that helped save the American Revolution at the very beginning of the war in the Battle of Long Island, and then repelled the British at Fort McHenry during the War of 1812. Those were also Marylanders. And we are the state that gave our country the great Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall and the great late Congressman Elijah Cummings. So you can see that the story of America is really in many ways the narrative of our great state of Maryland, and it is still being written as we speak. It's being written from right here in the city of Baltimore to southern Maryland and the suburbs of our nation's capital, from the eastern shore to the mountains of western Maryland. And it's being written in the hearts and minds of Marylanders of all ages, the hearts and minds of Marylanders from all backgrounds, and the great tapestry, which is the great racial and ethnic and religious diversity of the state of Maryland. That who is writing the next story in Maryland and around the country. That is why Maryland is called America in miniature. We are a state where every single person believes that the only way we will form a more perfect union is by doing that together, right? So here in our state, as the results tonight show, we're a state that moves forwards and never backwards. In Maryland, we don't lift some people up by bringing other people down. In Maryland, we will always strive to deliver on the promise of equal rights and equal justice and equal opportunity. In Maryland, we value the truth and we work to protect our democracy. And it's for all these reasons that tonight the people of Maryland are voting for hope over fear, for love over hate, for democracy over autocracy, for truth over falsehood, for unity over division, and for liberty and justice for all. So, my fellow Marylanders, let's get to work, and I am looking forward to getting to work with our next governor of the state of Maryland, Wes Moore.